we will. Okay, let's start with productivity, and then we will see. We already spoke about differences between countries, that the differences can be if they have same technology, same productivity, but different level of capital from the first case. Second case, that they have the same capital basically, but different technologies. Second case, and the most usual, that they have both different capital and different technology, which is basically difference between poor and rich. Concerning productivity technically and essentially is relation between output and input, outputs and inputs. So, but for instance, we have lumens. You know what lumens are? Lumens per watt. So we compare the light of the light bulbs. How do they function? Customers per employee. All of these things are basically productivity. Return on investment. It's also productivity. It's productivity of capital. Doing more with less. This is the book that I mentioned yesterday. The book is called More with Less, Andrew McAfee. It's worth reading. So let's look at one small example of increase of productivity. One short film. I got this idea yesterday when we spoke about this. So this is short. This is short clip from Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. We mentioned it yesterday. Just a second.
It's off in the video itself.
You put it on mute.
Okay. Sorry. More speed. What does that mean? That means higher productivity. He wants higher productivity now, the owner of the factory. He said more speed, which means that they have to produce more products per hour, per time unit. So let's see what happens. So let's stop a little bit here. We will continue. So as as we saw the relation, output divided by input. So this could mean that productivity is the you know, how many pancakes you make in 1 hour, how many breads you are making in 1 hour. But if this is only this, I would have quit this profession of economics, and because it would mean that progress of humanity, which depends on productivity, basically depends on forcing people to work harder, to conditions that are worse and worse for people who work. But it's not that. We will see what will happen. Funny thing with this worker, if this was that, this would happen. Okay, just let me find. Now they increase productivity even more. So people would go crazy with this. I saw that. This is funny and this is comedy, but I saw the things like this where people are exhausted when they come out of factories. So he's completely mad now. Okay, we'll stop here. My recommendation is to watch Charlie Chaplin's films. Some people say that they are old films. It would be the same as you would say, you know, Tolstoy is an old book, so don't read Tolstoy. Or don't read, I don't know, Shakespeare, it's old. Charlie Chaplin he was a genius and made very funny films with very good also messages. If you just check out his speech in is in the film Great Dictator, just before the Second World War, you will get how genius he was. So if this is productivity, I would just, hello, and if future of humanity depends on this would be hell, and I wouldn't care anything about economics. Fortunately, it's not. This is just one part of productivity. Remember these days when we talked about value creation. for instance, real increase in productivity is in the example that I said, for instance, sand, glass, and processor from silicon. This is real increases in productivity. For instance, in agriculture, you can produce corn, but you can produce from the same land. You can increase your productivity by changing from corn, for instance, to medical herbs, which create more value than corn itself. So this kind of improvement in our ideas, in our recipes, technology. That's why technology and productivity are closely related, almost the same thing. We consider it almost the same thing. Because technology makes better recipes. We are not using logs, we are making wood boards. Not wood boards, but furniture. Out of furniture, not standard furniture, but designed with, I don't know, by great designers, etc. So the essence of productivity is this. So this kind of improvement in. So it has something. So we can apply it in any profession. When you think about profession that you will do, for instance, what do you want to be after when you finish school?
It's a good question. I don't really have a precise answer yet, but
Roughly something. Cheesemaker.
if it pays good, okay. Well, honestly, I can't answer.
No. Okay.
Not really an idea.
Who has a precise idea what will do in the future?
I mean, precise, maybe an overstatement. But
Not precise, but
I'm pretty sure know what I'm doing after finishing my bachelor's degree is going to go for a master, probably in marketing or international business. Looking for a dual degree, either on one of my favorite universities like Peking University or Seoul National University, or just continuing here but don't accept it there. And my focus is probably going to be on marketing and specifically luxury brands in East Asia.
so how do you think that increase in productivity will affect? How will you increase productivity in this?
And it's hard to say because the studying part is kind of hard to increase productivity to a certain
No.
degree.
I'm not talking about okay. In studying, there is also productivity. You can learn,
More efficiently.
You can. That's productivity also.
Yeah.
You can. I don't know. Read some. Make some. Some summaries of the books or etc. So you can have different methods of productivity. But I'm talking about the job that you want. Do you know that, for instance, in general economy, when you produce well, here this bag, the biggest value added is there are three phases: research and design of products, production, and marketing at the end. So these are three areas. The lowest value added is in production. The highest value added is in design of products and in marketing of products. So you are adding value to products that you will market. This will be, for instance, in your profession. How will you do it? How will you find customers? Content marketing. It has also feedback to design of products, etc. These are the areas where you probably, if you do marketing of products, of tangible products, or software products, this will be something that who else knows what they will do? Roughly. One of Matthews.
I have more Scooby. What?
Not a clue. Nothing in finance.
So, what degree you will get after?
Finance and economics.
Okay, you could get, for instance, in banking or stock market, something like that. No, no.
Have my own wee coffee shop.
What kind
But
of
you-
coffee shop?
Like a nice one.
You don't need a degree in finance and economics for that.
I know.
I believe
This
this
because
because
of
he told
you-
me he doesn't want to be in finance.
Yeah, that's
So-
exactly what happened.
So in coffee shop, you will create coffees, and productivity will mean not producing more coffees, although it will, to some extent. Value added that you create in coffee shops is usually by quality that you create, experience that you create for customers. This is also productivity. This is the essence of these things. Okay, a few days ago we spoke about multi-factor productivity. Single factor productivity is this, for instance, lumens per watt, or customer. So we had this neoclassical model and have different factors. Single factor productivity means labor productivity. When you see how labor is productive, or capital, or technology. But we will now see what is the most important measure for one economy: total factor productivity or multi-factor productivity. So you have here, just a second. For instance, you have traditional light bulb. It produces 1600 lumens and it uses 100 watts of energy. So it's 16 lumens per 1 watt. This is productivity of this light bulb. This CFL bulb produces 1600 lumens with 25 watts, which is lower. So productivity is 64 lumens per 1 watt. So this CFL bulb is much more efficient. Efficiency is one part of productivity. Efficiency would be this Charlie Chaplin example. This is efficiency in one line of technology. So efficiency means squeezing the increasing pace of the production, etc., etc. So but productivity is much higher and has some wider meaning. So let's look at different. So this was factor of lumens per watt. This was single factor productivity. This is now lumens per price. This is other factor, money. So this light bulb is $1. This one CFL is $5. So productivity here is 1600 lumens per $1 and 320 lumens per. So concerning the price of the light bulb, the first one is more productive. So which one is more? We cannot determine that without multi-factor productivity. And in all models, macroeconomic models, multi-factor productivity, which is also called total factor productivity, is the main measure of productivity. So we calculate light bulb, traditional, uses 100 watts. In 1 month it's $100, so it's $101, and we calculate this This one is using 25 watts, for instance, it's $25 per month, and we have $30. And when you take into account both factors, you see that CFL is more productive. I didn't calculate it here, but you can do it. No. So this is multi-factor. In the literature, it sounds very complicated. I did this example on purpose, simple example, just for you to be, when you come with the term total factor productivity, that you know that it is, you turn labor to money, to value of labor to money, value of capital to money, and calculate the joint relation between output in money and input in money, and you get productivity. As simple as that. Okay, we already said that about productivity measures, labor productivity, capital equipment productivity, etc. Again, why is this most important measure of any economy? Because it measures our capability of creating value. How we are capable of creating. GDP per capita is also a measure of productivity, one of the measures. It measures how value we create. It's not how hard we work, although it measures also that. But that's not the essence. The essence is and value that is created through innovation and new ideas and new, as we said, new recipes. You can see here, if you remember from we spoke about it yesterday, the growth accounting, when we accounted for technology, for capital, for labor. You can see here, for instance, other countries compared to United States. So you see that, for instance, Norway has higher output per worker, higher physical capital per worker, human capital almost the same, and productivity a little bit higher than US. Who else has? Only them. UK has productivity higher than US. Most of the countries, that are here do not have higher productivity. Someone would say, okay, US is not industrial power as it was before. So China is industrial power now, but value created in sectors that are not industry, as we spoke about that before, that value is huge. In digital economy, values that even it's underestimated, because value created from free digital goods is huge also, but it is not on the market because it's free. So US economy basically is, although it's now about $26 trillion, probably there are few trillion more if you calculate those free digital goods in the same way that you calculate, for instance, free banking services. As you calculate it into the GDP, you just estimate their worth. We are not estimating goods, free digital services and goods, and this part of the economy is huge. That's why this intention of countries especially most developed, to re-industrialize, in my opinion, is the wrong way to go, because their main value creation is not now in industry, it's in something else. And industry, who mentioned about what will people work, what will people do after? Yeah, I think you did. So industry will probably in my lifetime become as agriculture is now. So agriculture is now about 3% of population is doing agriculture, and they produce many times, 10 times more agricultural products than before, with just 3% of people. Yeah.
Has the total number of agricultural workers actually decreased by that much? Because the population has also like increased by seven times.
That's
10
true.
times?
But in general population, in relative terms, their share is significantly, dramatically lower. This would probably happen with industry. So with robots and automated production, with 3D printing also. With 3D printing, when you just, that's why marketing and design and marketing will be more pronounced, and more, it will even create more value, because some of the products you will produce by yourself, by 3D printer in your house. But you will buy design. So design and marketing will be directly connected, not design, production, and marketing. So these things are things of the future. One thing that is important for all of those economies are technology and research and development spending, and capability and capacities of countries to have research and development. So there are, for instance, US is still dominating this area with the largest number of researchers. But also, look, now it is the issue is that China had this efficiency model, low labor cost model that they were using last 30 years. What do you think, Julia? What do you think? Will China surpass? Is China really the danger for US? What do you think?
Actually, I don't know. I think it's pretty hard for me to like really see it from my perspective of view. But I think they're like, I don't know, competitors kind of. Yeah. But
They are. They look as
Yeah.
competitors. It was France first, then.
I think not anymore, because China is self-damaging itself, because there's a lot of their restrictions in the recent years. For example, foreign people, they're always getting surveyed from the China espionage, and also the labor costs are rising. That's why a lot of companies are going to Southeast Asia, like Vietnam. They're looking where is the next big place where it can put our production.
China has to abandon the model of cheap labor. This is over. This is finished for them. Sorry.
And also because of the political structure there is not very entertaining for foreign companies to invest there. And you also need those foreign knowledge for being a powerhouse.
Yeah. So we will discuss it when we discuss the book Why Nations Fail. We could do it today if we have time. This kind of institutional, or tomorrow with government part. These institutional setup that is created and that is changing is very, very important. David.
I believe they have a chance to do so. They are currently in a transformative period again, because they have the two biggest problems and the advantages they had were basically unlimited labor force for a long time, which is now a middle class economy, which makes it harder for them, which is why they are trying to gain land and workforce, for example, in East Africa and the South of Africa. Another thing that is to take into consideration is just they have no longer the advantage of being able to technologically leapfrog from other technologies, so they actually have to develop things on their own, as we already mentioned before class on the very first day between us. That is a thing where an entirely different skill set is necessary than the things they have fostered until now, which is why they are also trying to get more people into the country with specific skill sets, because as shown through the East Asian financial crisis, the biggest skill set important for the growth of a country over a certain degree after industrialization is to actually foster a certain level of education to have a skilled workforce, which is their biggest resource you could have. Additionally, one of the biggest problems, as already mentioned before by our colleague, was the political system there, because one of the main reasons the CCP is in power is because they promise security and prosperity. So first of all, they cannot go to war in any case, because that would completely fuck over the point of security. And prosperity is kind of doomed as long as they are not able to get more resources, because as of right now, they are one of the biggest producers of energy, but within 27 days of running without support from the outside, they would be out of energy for production. So one of their biggest forays right now would be technically the investment in energy from Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
But with the war in Ukraine, that is also influencing them heavily, which is why they are not fully in support of it.
Yeah, we could discuss little bit. At the end, we will discuss who are really the losers, who is losing because of Ukrainian war in Ukraine, and who are those who are in better position. And it's interesting
countries
issue.
in the third position, basically.
Sorry.
From what I've seen, countries in the third position that are neither aligned with either side, but are able to make benefit of the lack of trade and the need of resources that comes up through the war.
You also wanted to.
Yeah, but everything was mentioned already.
Okay. I once, maybe 7 years ago, here in Vienna, there was one round table, and I just sneaked in to listen. There was one Chinese. I cannot remember the name of the. What was the name of the his economist, and other from Austria, etc. And I was amazed when I heard claim by Chinese guy that was he asked the same thing that I asked now. Who do you think that is the main competitor of US in the world? And we all, we say China as usually. And he says, think twice, because China is still industrial economy. US is knowledge-based economy. Industrial economy and knowledge-based economy are not competitors. They are complementary. And usually it was the model that you design things, Apple designs things in US, produces it in China, and markets it in the whole world. So he said it's not China if you consider this model of economy. Who is the other biggest, and I ask you, who is the other biggest knowledge-based economy in the world?
I would say Japan.
Yeah, but Japan is knowledge-based, but it's not as big as.
I mean, technically Europe, and specifically Germany, as the economic backbone of the...
Yeah, and EU in general. That was his thesis. That was his thesis that is worth thinking. EU is the other very large economy based on knowledge. So he said, look at relations between EU and US. The Chinese guy was saying that, and notice things about competition, not just alliance, etc. So these are interesting things to think about. Nothing in life is white and black. Everything is more or less gray. Okay. So basically, concerning, we will now turn to Central and Eastern Europe. To see what is. So when we look at situation, for instance, in Europe, northern countries are with high living standards, with low income disparity. They are, most of them, at the technology frontier, so they do not grow very fast. But they are leaders in competitiveness and in productivity. Not just in Europe, but in general. Western Europe countries, very rich region of the world. Central and Eastern Europe is converging. As we saw, Czech Republic and Slovakia are almost on similar level as, for instance, Austria, Belgium, or some other countries, even higher than, for instance, Portugal and Greece. And you have other countries that are also converging. Southern European countries have problems, but you can count Balkan countries into that same area, which has more now, after transition, it has more in common with Southern Europe than this Central and Eastern Europe. They have different, more similar characteristics, not just economy, but societies in general, than more similarity between, I don't know, Croatia and Italy than Croatia and the Czech Republic, for instance. Although we consider them as Central and Southeastern Europe. So in this area, as we saw concerning FDI, we had a huge inflow of FDI, especially here. This is the part of Europe that got huge amounts, not only private, as we said, but also public money from EU, from structural funds, and they converged really successfully so we basically measure productivity by value added through divided by factor or multiple factors. If we have single factor productivity, it's one. For example, number of hours worked, or, as we said, combined with capital, combined with other. So in EU, you have concerning technology different layers, different players basically. So you have digital front runners in digital economy. So these are Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, and, for instance, Estonia, which is part of this region. We have big EU, big countries, and all of other countries that are that are not that have challenges in creating digital economy and being part of digital economy. So when you compare EU in general with, for instance, United States, you see that business research and development intensity in general in EU is lagging behind the world. The most those competitors, as we say. China is investing much more into the research and development than, and not to mention US. US is also investing. This is business research and development. We have to distinguish it from public sector, which is in Europe more pronounced than business, but it's business research and development that counts really. This is new products and new services. So you can see that South Korea is the. What is the problem with? You can see the highest levels of. So Japan was in the same situation as China. Yeah.
Only see a correlation between South Korea and Japan because of the demographic change.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
both
they have declining
countries
population.
Try everything to decline their population, but nothing is working.
Yeah, that's one problem that they face. Usually declining population can be offset with technology. So this is not the main reason why they invest so much. Japan was in the same situation as China in the beginning of 90s. So they were a country that was not on technology frontier. They were behind, so they were catching up basically the West, and they were using. In 60s they created Japanese cars were cheap, low quality cheap cars, and then after some time they became usually thought as the best quality cars. But they did it till 90s. In 1990 they had so-called beginning of the Great Stagnation. Why? Because you had to start with in marketing, David, they call it there is red ocean strategy and blue ocean. Do you know about that? Red ocean when you compete with, and it's red because everybody is hitting each other and a lot of blood. And blue ocean is when no one is there, but it's completely new territory. I'm talking about ideas. So you use ideas that are there and everybody is using, and you are fighting for. So this is red ocean. This is when you are below technology frontier. So everybody are using technology for making shoes, for clothes, for everything. And this is that kind of fight of efficiency, like in Charlie Chaplin's movie. But in blue ocean, when you are at technology frontier, for instance, a good example is Samsung and Apple. Apple usually goes to blue ocean strategy because it goes to uncharted territory with their products, with something new, completely, no one is there. They sometimes miss, they don't do it right, but sometimes they get it. Samsung is following them and trying to be more efficient. I will show you. Could you stand up? You are Apple and I'm Samsung, and my strategy is to follow you. So what do I see? I just see him. I just see Apple. What he is doing, nothing else. And what do you see? You see everything else. So I just see him as a competitor, and what he does, I follow. But the leader as Apple, for instance, is seeing every whole ocean as. Thank you. So this is basically also the case with the countries. Japan had and they figured out that without huge investment in research and development, they cannot sustain their growth. It took them 10 years to start growing again. And it took them huge amount of resources, because it's not easy to build capacity for research and development. That needs tradition, that needs people that are experienced in it, and you cannot. This is the position of China today. You can see that China is increasing the level of spending for research and development, for new products and new services, and that you can see that they are really increasing it sharply, but it's really a question if they are going to succeed in recent times. It's not easy. Probably it will be it will take them at least 10 or so years to be able to compete technologically with the others. As someone said, Franz, I think, said the political system there is taking harder grip on generally of society, and you cannot create innovation by force. It doesn't go that way. The innovation and creativity is matter of freedom, not force. You cannot force it. So I doubt that they will succeed in it. Concerning technology in Central and Eastern Europe, so we saw that most of the growth was based not on technology, but on investment, on capital, in the capital part that we. Now you see that concerning technology, there's productivity lags behind Europe. This is productivity GDP per hour worked, and you can see big difference between Central and Eastern Europe and the rest of the Europe. Unemployment, unemployment is good, but for instance ours. This is one of the myths. For instance, there was a myth that Greeks are lazy and Germans are, Germans work hard. So in hours worked per year, Greeks work more, for instance, than Germans. But the productivity is the main issue there. Are you working smartly or not? Are you doing things that create high value or low value? That's the main issue between economies. Okay. Estonia and Latvia are. Estonia especially is a digital front runner in generally in Europe, but other countries are not. The digital economy is, and one possible reason why there is a low productivity in this area is that digital transformation is still not there, so they are not following. We saw data for US and China that they invest more in research and development. Central and Eastern Europe invest even less than European average. So that's one of the things that is in the future to be improved. So what happened? Central and Eastern Europe became it basically became re-industrialized. And this was transition basically from socialism to capitalism when they tried to make them industrial. For instance, Poland is still European powerhouse. But now all of those countries that, for instance, like Czech Republic, Slovenia, Poland, they need now another transition. Another transition is from efficiency model or industrial economy to knowledge-based economy. That's the issue now. That's the new transition that these countries have to make. This is without that, but that's not only the case with just Central and Eastern Europe. Generally in Europe, yeah.
How far can this development go? Like at some point all countries will be knowledge-based economies. That cannot work sustainably, right?
They can, because as we said, industry as a part of economic activity will decline due to automated production processes, robots, and etc. So this kind of knowledge economy opens possibilities for anybody, for even we cannot imagine what future products and services would look like. We would earn billions now if we knew what will be in 10 or 20 years. But in those value chains that are created, for instance, you have big value chains in Europe, and most of the research and development in those value chains, for instance, is in Germany, in Netherlands, in I don't know, Denmark, Scandinavian countries. Most of the production now is in these countries like Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia. With increase of their capacities to create value, they will become competitors to Western Europe. This is basically the issue, and who knows what future brings concerning new products and services for those countries. So basically, industrial way is something that is basically technology has solved that kind of. If John Maynard Keynes in 40s said that after people, so to say, conquer the industrial production to be efficient, they will have nothing to do anymore. This is his famous claim. But he was not right, because we have something to do. Even we have enough of food, enough of flats, enough of material things. We still have things to do. So this is not going to end. Not for Western Europe, but not also for Central and Eastern Europe. Okay, innovation. Innovation has two different meanings. I mean, there is one meaning. Innovation is something that is new in some kind of context. Invention is something new for the world. So, for instance, I don't know, electric car is new for the world, and that's invention. Innovation is when you make electric car in Czech Republic, for that market. This is innovation for that context. So sometimes innovation takes form of so-called transfer of technology. Now, instead of speaking, we will do one exercise about innovation. Okay, let's make groups. You can make those groups for presentation or some group else. You will take you will have one input, and you will have to create output out of it by using innovation or invention, by using transfer of technology now, here in the classroom, transfer of technology or research and development for the new product. So let's make groups. Are we going to make groups like
How many people?
3, 4, 5, whatever you want? So it can be, it can be, for instance, 4 of you, 4 of you, and no. Okay, 5 of you here, 5 of you, one group, and this group, this one. Okay, what will be the input? Input will be piece of paper. Output will be paper airplane. Paper airplane. So I will have the role of the market. So me as a market, the best thing for me as a market is the plane that goes
The furthest.
the furthest. Yeah. That's for me the main criteria. So you will now compete. So you can research and develop your airplane by yourself, and this is basically called research and development. Or you can go and look at the recipes, technology on the internet. This is called transfer of technology. So basically, you have transfer of technology, or you are trying. I don't care what kind of design you take.
This is
It's-
a challenge.
Sorry?
This is a challenge which plane can fly the furthest.
So you can take anything you want. You can make anything you want. Design does not. I don't care about your design. It has to be piece of paper, and you have to make airplane that flies. The winner on the market will be.
Das ist the world record.
The winner will be the group with the plane that goes furthest.
Are you launching it or can we launch?
No, you are launching it. So those of you that look at the possible solutions. So first, what are you going to probably do? Make some. In the industry, they call it prototypes. So prototype is something that you test. You will need. This is exactly the same thing as people in industry are doing. They making prototypes and test it, and test it, and test it, and then create product. So those of you who look at the possible solutions, this is transfer of technology. So you are not inventing by yourself something. You are trying to find out what is existing knowledge in that area. This is the same thing as factories do, and engineers and research development departments, etc.
Yeah, but if I
Only we have very simple input and output, and they have computers. Okay, I'll leave you to.
No, you shouldn't give it to other competitors.
Would we be able to borrow a piece of paper, please? Yeah. Thank you.
So guys, in those forms you asked for more interactive. I don't know what else could be more interactive than this.
So viele das ist nur für mich. Aber dafür fliegt der Schwerwagen ziemlich weit. Wenn die Aufgabe wäre, so lange wie möglich in der Luft zu bleiben, würde ich das
Aerodynamics,
Nimm nur nicht deine Matrix zusammen. Aber hinten soll.
Do you mind if I just take to see what are you doing? Okay, this is transfer of technology group. Good. Let's see. I say I don't care what you make out of that paper. It's free. It's free thing for you to do. I don't make any criteria. So you have obviously some previous technology knowledge about airplanes. That's experience.
Ja sam predložila loptu da napravimo.
Može? You can have two different or three different and just decide what will be the best. Milju, stop. Let's see what people here are doing.
Technically, we're looking up a guy from.
Is it transfer of technology? Guys, try to be a little bit more. Try to do it by yourself.
Okay.
If you have.
Fine, easy.
I'm kidding.
I'm in research and development.
Easy R&D.
So you have many examples. So okay, you test your prototypes, and the best one you will use it at the competition.
Okay. But will we hold the competition?
Sorry?
Because I don't think there's enough space in here.
Oh, we'll go out.
Okay.
You can go out to try it. But be careful. I don't want Austrian professors to think that I went crazy. I think this is the way to figure out. This is the process that is done by economy, and this is, you won't believe it. It sounds silly, but this is the most important process in the economy in the world. Creation of product from limited inputs.
I think it should be more like, for example, I know.
In case you wonder why I record, I agreed with Darina, which is sick today, that I record today's session, so she will be able to. And I will send this to her. Maybe I could send it to all of you, but you are already here, so why should? Not too bad. Did you find it on internet?
That's my
So
old school.
this is for it. As I noticed, it's similar thing here. This is previous knowledge that you have about. This is previous knowledge that you have about.
Like a winger.
Der ist schon wieder, ich sag's dir.
Okay, did you test? Are you ready for competition?
We have to decide which one is best. Research and development. Lass uns mal den Test.
It's her again.
No, I just do a little glass.
I'm doing things. I don't know where I'm going.
That's too sharp, I think.
Okay, I'll go outside to see if we have.
They don't really like mine.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, let's go. We cannot do it here. It's small space. Let's go to the hall. But be quiet, please. Okay. Okay, we will stand here and throw it or maybe here, huh? Would it be good? Well,
I think it was just better.
I think it's better here. Okay. This will be the when you throw the plane, go to that place and just to be marked. Okay. Who will go first?
I can start.
Okay.
Oh, we should be last actually.
I'm last.
Okay.
We have the same.
Which group are you?
I'm the group in front of you.
But you can try just one. We had to test it.
Yeah.
When did you decide what is the best?
We have the best airplane yet.
Okay, let's try.
My group.
Okay, go and stand there.
It will go farther.
Okay. Okay. Don't go. You can come here. We see. Next group.
We can only use one. We can only use one.
No.
Just use all of them.
Okay. Okay. Next group.
Let's see if it flies. I don't think it could go much more further.
It could have. The wall was in the way.
Okay. Next group.
That's not fair. R&D. Copycat.
Okay. And the last group.
That's it.
That's it. Guys, Yes. There is no winner here. Just come here. So look at these things that we see here. This is good example of old technology. So existing technology. And this is it achieved the same result as something we call disruptive technology.
But there's innovation.
Yeah, the original.
All disruptive technologies are.
Extra weight.
I said only paper.
This is only paper.
Okay. I thought it's something else. So this is traditional technology like taxi, and this is disruptive technology like Uber. So this is the difference between, and this is innovation you made, because I said I don't care about your design. I just want it to fly. Okay, this is the way how we should. Let's go back to the classroom.
Right.